Welcome back, everyone, to Let's Play Spy Fiction. Last time, we were on a mission that ended very poorly. So now we're going back in time, as it said, 2 months, to see how this all started, to see what the chain of events were that led up to what we saw in the prologue, when the agents in Phantom invaded Enigma's headquarters and got caught, and Nicholas was killed by Dietrich Troy. So now we're going to see how that all got started.
Good morning. Let's skip the formalities and begin the briefing. Your mission is to conduct an investigation of Nanotech-Dyne Inc., the pharmaceutical company. On the surface, it seems to be a legitimate corporation, but we suspect they're developing illegal biochemical weapons. You must break into their computer to verify our intelligence. Time is of the essence. Launch the mission tonight. Here's the strategy for cracking the computer's security. I'll begin with what we know. 2 items are required to gain access. The first is the retinal scan of Dr. Forrest Kaysen. He designed the system so that he alone can use the terminals. The computer is activated when his retinal scan is verified by the system. Use your retina scanner to acquire a scan without his knowledge. Set up the retina scanner on the electron microscope in the Level 2 lab. Press the circle button when Kaysen is using the microscope. The scanner will automatically scan and relay the data to you. The second item is Kaysen's password. You will need this for file transfers. You'll have to eavesdrop to find it. When you get the retinal scan and Kaysen's password, we're in. Go to the Rendezvous in the underground parking lot for extraction. Samuel is working inside as our mole. Find him to find out what he knows. Do you understand? One more thing. Supplies have been deposited at dead drops around the building. A friend called the Middleman stashed them for us. Search under desks, inside chests, and so on to find supplies. If there's something you need, garbology might be effective.
Alright, so we're infiltrating a pharmaceutical company that might be developing biochemical weapons. So here we are outside the company in the parking lot, disguised as one of the maintenance workers. And we can enhance our quality of the disguise by doing a little cleaning, pushing the broom around. But we don't really need to worry about disguising ourselves from these guys right here. They're barely even looking at us. So let's take a look in the garbage. Bunch of garbology to be found in the areas in the parking lot. Look in the cars as well. So as they said, the purpose of this mission is to get the retinal scan of Forrest Kaysen. That may sound familiar, as well as his password. Now, if we take a look at the garbology we just found, this one explains how garbology data works, the data for a 3DA camera, where it's all stored. It's in a hard drive in our backpack. Apparently it's dual core. This is not a memo that's left for us, rather it's an article from a magazine that talks about how a high-ranking official with this company has been meeting with military officials, apparently. And there's been some kind of exchange. It says a heavy-set man dressed in white exchanges documents with the military officials for money, and then leaves in a rush. I don't think it's much of a guess to assume that the heavy-set man in white is Forrest Kaysen, because we did see what he looked like earlier, and that the company they're talking about is this one, Nanotech-Dyne Global Omni Hyper Meganet. This one talks about the potential punishment for infractions that can be committed by Phantom agents. They say there are 3 crimes they can commit. There's leaking of information, breaching of organization's faith, and unnecessary killing. I don't know about that last one. They mentioned that an agent that's found guilty can be exposed to a machine called the Laundry, which brainwashes the agent. We don't actually get to see this in the game. I would have liked to know more about the Laundry. Also, that the backpack that the agents wear can identify where they are. They have a GPS. So, Phantom HQ can keep track of their agents at all time. Some of this information does come into play later on in the game, and a lot of it does not. Now in this one, Samuel is telling us that falling hurts, which is good to know. They also measure the amount that it will hurt by distance of crates. So that's the unit of measurement that we use for distance in the world of spy fiction. 17 crates is equal to death. Okay. A little item in here.
You've got the flash pencil. It's a pocket-sized grenade that releases a blinding flash of light. It's perfect for a quick getaway. Hold down the square button and let go to throw it. You can thank me later.
Or maybe we won't thank him at all. So the flash pencil is essentially a stun grenade that will stun everyone in the area, except it does not look like a grenade, it looks just like a normal pen. So that's one way of doing it. You can just ignore these guys, but is that what Billy Bishop would have done? Billy doesn't like to leave things to chance.
I can't hear what they're saying. Get closer. Press the L1 button next to the person you want to hear. You can tune in on everything to the slightest whisper. Test it on those guys.
So in the previous level, we really did not need to listen to what any of the guards were saying. That was just extraneous. Here, however, there is some important information that we can get from listening to these guys. But while we're at this, let's get some costume data, because that does look like an important fellow over there with his white coat. We can assume he's one of the nanotech dyne scientists. We just get a little closer and start mopping the floors to hear what they have to say.
Did you hear? Dr. Kaysen won 3rd prize in the Cowgirl Lotto last month.
Tickets are $100 a pop. How could he blow that much every Thursday? He'd go broke.
Yep. He's dropped a bundle.
So it appears that Forrest Kaysen likes the lottery. Maybe that might be an important fact later on. We'll just have to see.
I'm sick of this. Graveyard shift.
I walked a bit too far. That can easily happen where the guy will walk too far away.
Graveyard shift is the pits. Who needs the aggravation?
I know, there's no one around. Who needs that aggravation? Oh. No, just cleaning the floors. Must be getting tired. Because we're just cleaning the floors here. No need to point that gun at us. Couple lockers, so we'll just get the garbology out of these real quick. Now they're talking about the nanoprobes that the Phantom agents use. So yes, each Phantom member is injected with nanoprobes. And this allows Phantom HQ to keep track of the information from their agents, such as vital signs, such as location. He mentions that old nanoprobes were permanently in the body, but the new ones are drained every so often and reinserted. They mention that if the body rejects the nanoprobes, a microbot is inserted into the nasal cavity, which stimulates the brain. So I guess you better hope that you are compatible with these nanoprobes. Back in the hole, that's what Nicholas said last episode. And apparently it was the catchphrase from a 1960s show called The Spies from the Sea. This show doesn't actually exist, at least according to Google. There's nothing about it. So yeah, this is just completely made up. As opposed to Deadly Premonition, in which all the old movies and songs that were talked about were real things. This one apparently is completely fictional. Though it does sound like something that could have been a 60s TV show. Apparently they are spies that are named after animals. How about that? Oh, there's someone with the same costume we have. Let's clean the floor with him.
Guess it was nothing.
Yeah, there's nothing. Just clean the floors.
Only authorized personnel allowed beyond this point.
And the game shows us who the authorized personnel is, so it was important for us to get that shot of the scientist earlier. I think that the reason it's showing us that is because we're on Adventure Level 1. I assume that if we were on a higher level, it wouldn't be telling us the answers to these things. Rather, we'd have to figure it out on our own, who the authorized personnel would be, so we could take their picture and disguise ourselves as them. So now that we're the scientist, we can easily pass by.
One moment. I'll open the doors. There you go.
Alright, so Billy Bishop is going to give this whole spider grips thing a try. He didn't try it last time. But we'll see if we can avoid being noticed by the scientist and the guard by crawling above them. Unfortunately, these spider grips only work in the corner of the ceiling and wall like this. We can't actually crawl further out on the ceiling. So it is limited in use, but it does have some use. And that worked pretty well, just going right over them. We're too high, they can't notice us, so everything seems to be going well. Oh, except we reached the end of the hallway, and unfortunately with spider grips we can't turn corners. So there's only one thing to do. Drop down where the guard can see us.
Someone help!
Roger, strike squadron, move out. The intruder has escaped. All teams, search the area.
So once past that guard, we find ourselves in a storage room that's full of food and some more garbology to pick up. It's quite a lot of it. So this is talking about backup from headquarters, about how these operations are performed by small teams. Our backup consists of our support group, who would be consisting of Nicholas, Michael, who we've seen, and Samuel, who we have not spoken to as of yet, but we will very soon. Talking about the body check, which we saw in the last video, where a guard can check our disguise and either let us go or may realize that we're a spy. So those little animations we can do when disguised are called cheat actions, such as the mopping the floors that we were doing as the maintenance person. As it mentions, the guards and the facility employees are going to treat us differently. The guards will be more alert and will be more likely to check us, it seems. Whereas the employees will probably only check us if we get right next to them. Like as if we touch them. Alright, it looks like Billy's found himself a scientist disguise. So let's head on in and... okay, we'll do that first.
One moment. I'll open the doors. There you go.
Yeah, you can just smash the items you see on desks and walls and shelves, things like that. A lot of breakable stuff.
You're late, kiddo. What's wrong? Oh, this? Looks good, doesn't it? Fooled everyone. No one suspects I'm a spy. Okay, kid, here's what Cookie knows. The electron microscope's in the level 2 lab. You need a level 2 keycard to get in. Security's tight. Be careful. Contact the middleman to get that level 2 keycard. He's been snooping around for HQ. Protect him. He's sticking his neck out for us. Hook up with the middleman in the level 1 lab locker room. Sit there reading the Sports Weekly. He'll spot you and make contact. What? Why Sports Weekly? He's a football fan, of course. He stashed the Sports Weekly in the smoking area. It's to your right as you leave the cafeteria. The level 1 lab is past the smoking area, beyond the foyer. You got that? Take this key card. You'll need it to get into the level 1 lab.
So this is Samuel, the final member of our support team, and that chef's outfit he's wearing is quite nice. Seems like the kind of thing that Billy Bishop might want to wear. Some more garbology from the refrigerator. This is talking about middlemen. The middleman that Samuel mentioned is someone who works in the facility, who is working with us to allow us access into the facility and who has placed various items around the building for us.
If you get lost, look at the map. You can view a map of the facility by holding down the triangle button to access the menu. It shows your position and your goal for the mission. Your backpack is a GPS locator.
on the Metropolis again. He weighs 300 pounds. How does that ship get off the ground?
Yeah, everyone knows fat guys can't get on blimps. Alright, let's just put this pan right in this guy's face.
Wonder when Dr. Coleman's coming back. This place has gone to the dogs.
Dr. Coleman. That's not a name we heard in our briefing. But let's just take a look around and see what's around, see what people are saying while we're dressed as this chef, which is an appropriate outfit for the kitchen, though it might not be so appropriate for other places in the facility. Just gonna cook right in this railing. No, I'm just cooking. Yeah, nothing. Just cooking right here. Characters that walk around a lot can be pretty annoying to try to listen to because that might happen.
Kaysen met with some shady-looking characters yesterday. This used to be a...
Huh? No, I'm just cooking. I'm cooking. What's that? An omelet in there? Something like that?
Kaysen met with some shady-looking characters yesterday. This used to be a respectable company. Now it's dealing with woods.
So Kaysen has been meeting with some shady-looking characters. Oh, and over here is a sign that mentions the Level 2 laboratory, which might be useful to know, because we need to get in there. Samuel just told us that we need to meet our middleman so we can get the Level 2 keycard from him. We have the Level 1 card now, which Samuel gave to us, and we're going to need that to meet the middleman. However, he also said that to meet the middleman, we're going to need a sports weekly. Where might we find one, do you think? There's a smoking lounge. That seems like that might be a place where we might find a sports periodical, perhaps. We might find one there. Oh, and here's a bathroom. The men's room. We can go in there because we're dressed as a man. Lottery ticket, huh? Well, they did say that Kaysen does like to play the lottery, so maybe it's his. Definitely an old one, though.
Kaysen, a genius? He can't come up with a simple password. He has to use a lottery ticket.
Well, that's interesting. Apparently, Kaysen uses his lottery tickets for his passwords. We do need to get his password, but the lottery ticket we just found is an old one, so it's unlikely that'll be the password.
I love night shift. With Dr. Coleman gone, I can light up whenever I want. Here's to you, Dr. Kaysen.
Well, some people like Kaysen instead of Coleman.
You've got the Sports Weekly. Now go to the locker room and wait for the middleman. Press the triangle button to select the Sports Weekly. Don't be so nervous. He's on our side.
Alright, if he says so. And, can't actually read these posters, because they're too low resolution. Alright, in any case, let's head to the Level 1 laboratory. Oh, hold on. The ladies' room. Well, we're dressed as a man, so if we go in there, we're going to sound an alarm. And we can't go in there just in our sneaking suit, because we would again set off an alarm if someone is in there. Which there is, so only one thing to do. Alright, maybe that wasn't the most stealthy thing to do, but I did want to come in here. While we're at it, we might as well get some more costume data. This one is a woman-only costume, so no, Billy can't wear it. Don't ask for me to try to put him in that, because it won't work. Alright, some garbology in this one, which is why I wanted to come in here. This one's talking about the Retina Scanner. We were given the Retina Scanner for this mission. We have to get Kaysen's retinal scan. by getting into the laboratory and placing this on his microscope. He will look in the microscope, and then we'll get a shot of his eyes. Because we need his retina scan in order to enter his computer system. Alright, this costume not quite as secure as the scientist costume, and the animation for it is just kind of looking around. But we'll walk around in this for a little while. Alright, so we got the Sports Weekly, we have the level 1 key card, so now we want to get into the level 1 lab, which is right here, actually. Now, since we're not dressed as a scientist, that guard is going to take notice if we enter the lab. However, if we do this fast enough, we'll open the door and get through before he says anything. Yeah, you heard him notice that we were coming toward the lab. If we were still dressed as a scientist, he wouldn't have noticed that. So different disguises can be appropriate for different situations. The locker room's this way, and that's where we're supposed to meet the middleman. Uh-oh. So many lockers. Well, let's get the garbology.
That's a minicam. It's an ultra-small camera fitted with a transmitter. It arms itself when you equip it. Press the square button to fire the transmitter. Press the R3 button to see what it's picking up. I tested this one out in the girls' locker room.
Oh, Michael, you're the most unlikable Phantom Agent. By the way, if you're wondering who's leaving all this garbology lying around, apparently Samuel and the middleman are doing this for us. Alright, so next garbology is about moles. The mole is a spy that infiltrates the facility. In this case, Samuel is the mole. He's now working as the chef at Nanotech Dine. This one talks about dead drops. Dead drops referring to stashes of items hidden for us by the middleman. So these items, recovery kits, things like the minicam we just picked up, any ammunition, these have all been left by the middleman. Alright, perhaps an important one talking about civilians. This level is the first one that has civilians in it. We're not supposed to kill them. Remember, we're not supposed to kill civilians. If we kill civilians, they say a hearing can be called. Alright, let's take out the Sports Weekly and get the middleman in here.
Are you a fan? Here's the level 2 key card. It will get you into the level 2 lab. You can get there from the second floor of the cafeteria. Use the card at the hallway door and you're in the clear. Got it? Oh yeah, I've done some investigating. Dr. Kaysen buys a Cowgirl Lotto ticket every Thursday. He uses the number as the password. There's a new ticket every week. Get the current one. Then do me a big favor. Return the key card. It's a royal pain to file a lost item report.
Well, sorry, pal. But Billy Bishop, he doesn't like to leave loose ends.
Who told you to kill the target? It's against orders. Mission over, pal. Way to go. Months and months of planning down the drain.
Well, Sheila knows better not to kill the target. Instead, we're going to take a picture, because his disguise I think is a bit better than what we've got now. As a scientist, we're able to get into more places than we would wearing a civilian disguise, or at least we won't attract the attention of the guards wearing this. And now we've got the level 2 keycard from the middleman. So we could just go straight to the level 2 lab, but there are a couple other rooms in this lab that we can explore before heading out. No, just doing chemistry. Pouring chemicals in these beakers.
Have you been in Cason's office?
No. He doesn't even know my name.
The other day, I brought him some test results. I saw a strange emblem on top of his desk.
An emblem?
I didn't recognize it.
Damn it. A hostile takeover.
Strange emblem, huh? It wasn't an upside-down peace sign by any chance, was it? No one else talking in here, so let's step out to... Hold on. Let's take our camera off, otherwise someone might see it. Level 1 equipment room. Oh, a lotto ticket. However, it's an old lotto ticket, so it would not be the current password, since we were told that Kaysen does change the password every week to match the lotto ticket of that week. So we have to get the current one.
Kaysen can never fill Coleman's shoes. Dr. Coleman had brains. Kaysen just has a lot of nerve.
Again, a mention of this Dr. Coleman that Kaysen apparently replaced. Seems like most of the people in Nanotech Dyne preferred Coleman over Kaysen. Well, there was that one guy who liked Kaysen because he let him light up whenever he wanted, but I don't think he counts. But we didn't hear anything about this Dr. Coleman during our briefing. Alright, let's head on out to lab number 2. Here's the lobby for Nanotech Dyne. We can't actually leave the place through here. But it's notable because there's some civilians walking around, as well as these receptionists right here.
You won't believe it. Cason's using a lotto number for a password.
No way. Isn't that against the rules?
He trusts his security system. The password is useless without his you-know-what.
Wow. Should I tell anyone?
Who? Kaysen would get rid of us, just like Dr. Coleman.
I'll keep my mouth shut.
So Kaysen got rid of Dr. Coleman. And that's something a bit different than what we heard. Now, these civilians that are walking around, they are basically helpless. They won't fight back. And we could get in trouble for actually Billy!
Bad karma. Killing innocent bystanders is against the rules. You're supposed to protect the innocent. You're not enjoying this, are you?
Security!
Intruder alert! Strike! Nice shooting, Tex. Time to back off.
You're not enjoying this, are you?
Right, so Billy's massacre here has attracted the attention of the guards. Now, if we killed too many civilians, we would have gotten an automatic game over, because it's against Phantom policy to kill civilians. While we're doing this, however, we might as well show this. When you're fighting a group of guards, probably the best thing to do is use the stun shaver, because you can stun more than one of them. And also, if you kill guards, they can be replaced. More guards can come out. However, if you only stun them, they will not be replaced. And there's only a finite amount of guards that can be in one room. Like, I think 3 or 4. So, stunning guards is usually better than killing them, actually. Also, you can get items from guards if you stun them, and I don't believe that's the case if you kill them. But while Billy's cleaning up his mess, let's go over to lab number 2 with our newfound keycard in disguise. So since we're dressed as a scientist, that guard is not going to care that we're going into the level 2 lab. So we didn't even get his attention. Because some disguises will be considered the right disguise for the area.
I've got intel from Samuel. Kaysen goes to the cafeteria at the same time every night. Samuel says it's his only exercise. He's going to the cafeteria any minute now. Set up the retina scanner while he's there. He can't suspect anything when he returns.
Okay, so this is going to be a very sensitive operation, it sounds like, because we're... Kaysen!
Hold on, what are you doing? If you kill the target, our mission is a complete loss. Didn't you learn anything at the firm?
What? Alright, so we don't kill Kaysen. We just let him go on his way to the cafeteria. Now here's Kaysen's lab that he came from. We have to get in there so we can install the retina scanner. So let's head on into Kaysen's secretary's office. Have a word with her.
I want to go home. What's Kaysen got against me? I hate night shifts, but if I complain, he'll fire me. Dr. Coleman was such a little angel.
Even Kaysen's secretary prefers Coleman.
Excuse me, only Dr. Kaysen has clearance.
So we can't actually go into the lab because only Kaysen is able to go through this door. Well, while we're here, might as well get some more costume data. Now we've got Kaysen's secretary.
Authorized personnel only.
Yeah, I know. You just told us. So, what's the solution here? Well, there are a couple solutions, actually. One is the more obvious one. If only Kaysen can go through that door, then I guess we're just going to have to disguise ourselves as Kaysen. And we know that he went down to the cafeteria. So where is he? There he is, talking with Samuel. Let's get a bit of distance from him and pull out our camera. If we do this too close, he'll notice us. Got it? Alright, let's change and take a look at our Kaysen disguise. Camera. Kaysen is one of the most secure costumes. He has 4 C's, which is more C's than any other costume we've seen, aside from Dietrich Troy in the previous level. But how do you think Kaysen would react to seeing himself?
Who the hell are you? I'm Dr. Kaysen. And you?
One very dangerous man.
Prove it.
You're a spy. Guards!
Hands up! Resist and I'll shoot!
Oh. So Kaysen was able to expose us as a spy. He had some kind of chemical or acid that melted our disguise. So, probably is a good thing not to get his attention while we're dressed as him. But you may have noticed that Billy's voice did not sound like Kaysen's. Maybe there's something we can do to try to rectify that. There actually is, if we go and listen to that conversation they're having over there.
Caffeine. I couldn't live without it.
trade secret, Doc.
Tell me your secret. It'll make us rich.
My secrets go with me to the grave.
Samuel makes homemade caffeine. That's actually quite impressive. But you may have noticed that it now says we have forced Kaysen's voice data. What that means is that if we get into a situation where we have to talk, we will sound like Kaysen. But let's just change costumes right now so he won't see us. This is a little suit that we got earlier from one of the civilians. Billy looks quite dapper in it. For whatever reason, however, getting the voice data is not necessary here at all. If we try to get past Kaysen's secretary without the voice data, she just let us by. She wouldn't even notice that we have the wrong voice. But with the voice data, we now have a perfect Kaysen disguise. So let's just quickly change back into Kaysen's costume. And his secretary will not know the difference. And it is the case with a few of the named characters that you can disguise yourself as, that you can get their voice data. It's not the case with the like the nameless NPCs. But with characters like Dietrich Troy and Forrest Kaysen, you can get their voices.
Dr. Kaysen, back already?
Research calls. Open the door for me, Tootsie.
Sure, just a sec. You're welcome.
See, now we have his voice. And now we've gotten past the secretary. There are a couple places we can go. First, before we go into the lab, let's go into the chief's room, which is probably going to be Kaysen's office, you might assume. Lotto ticket, but it's an expired lotto ticket. Again, not the current one. We do need the current one. Alright, so that is not an upside-down peace sign. That's a bit more complex symbol. And this piece of garbology is talking about using the pass cards that we've been using, cards 1 and 2. Alright, that's all we have in here. Now we can go into the level 2 lab, which is where Kaysen does his work. But there's another way of doing that, a much shorter way. So we just saw how we could get into Kaysen's lab by disguising ourselves as Kaysen. But there's something else we can do. We can go into the lab 2 locker room. And we're probably going to want to incapacitate this guy, just because he's kind of a pain. And he can see us doing our spy work. So it's not the most stealthy thing, but it's really what we had to do. Alright, here's the costume that we got from the secretary. She has the same animation as the other female costume that we got before. Alright, first things first. Very old lotto ticket. Again, useless. As I said, first things first, let's get the garbology. Now, there's an open ventilation shaft there in this locker room that you saw. And this one talks about the ventilation shafts. It mentions that if we can't get by security, we might want to choose using the ventilation shafts to get to where we need to go. It also mentions that one of the ventilation shafts is undergoing maintenance. It's actually this one, which is why it's opened. This one telling us what the definition of rendezvous means for some reason. Our rendezvous point, by the way, is back in the parking garage. It's where we entered the place. That actually could be useful to know when we finish the mission, because the first time I did this, I kind of forgot where the rendezvous point was. Alright, the reason we came in here. Let's take a look at that open ventilation shaft. Now, where does that lead? Well, we can use the map to find that out. Tells us where Forrest Kaysen is, where the lotto ticket is, and where the microscope is. You have this little 3D view here, which is kind of awkward to control. Okay, but we can see ourselves, yeah, where we are, and there's the ventilation shaft, and it leads to a room that has the microscope in it. So this ventilation shaft directly connects to Kaysen's lab. So we can get back into our sneaking suit and dive in. So if you want to bypass the whole bit with disguising yourself as Kaysen, you can actually, just by doing this. And there are other researchers in there, so let's get some more costume data. And there's a conveniently placed locker right here, so let's not risk anything and just change into a costume to make sure we're not noticed. Alright, so this garbology is talking about the repairs to the ventilation shaft. Let's see what these guys have to say.
Kaysen's a crook. Dr. Coleman discovered that virus. Suddenly Dr. Coleman's gone, and Kaysen's taken all the credit.
What's this now about a virus? That's the first we heard about that.
There's the electron microscope. Set up the retina scanner. Stat.
Alright, so this is what we came to do. We can install our retina scanner over that microscope, and apparently Kaysen will not notice this at all, I guess.
Kaysen is returning. Hide. Watch him carefully. Hold down the circle button when he looks into the microscope. Timing is everything. The scanner will relay the image instantly. When it does, leave. Got it?
Okay, so according to what Nicholas said, we have to actually watch Kaysen use the microscope because we have to manually activate the scanner. It won't do it automatically, so we have to find a place that we can watch Kaysen do this from. Well, there is that ventilation shaft right behind the microscope. So that will give us a good hiding place, as we can watch Kaysen use the microscope and thus get his retinal scan. I don't know why this just isn't automatic. You'd think that would be easy enough to do. And according to Nicholas, the retinal scanner will transmit the images automatically, so we won't actually have to go get it back. Though you think that would be physical evidence, but whatever. Alright. I assume he doesn't hear that.
Cason's password is next. Search the other rooms for it.
Alright, so that's one way we could go about getting Cason's scan. We could do it the Billy Bishop way, which is to just stand right behind him, because Cason doesn't seem to mind. This works too.
Cason's password is next. Search the other rooms for it.
Alright, so we have to get his password. Now, oh, hold on a second. This guy's back up. Alright, so we have to get Cason's password. Now, we've been told that he uses the current lotto ticket for his password. We've been finding all of these older tickets. We have not found this week's. So let's take a further look around lab number 2 and see if we can find anything. Here's the level 2 equipment room. See what's inside.
Some equipment room? Look at all this stuff. Cason could hide anything in here. Look for the password.
And the game just shows us where it is. We don't actually have to look for it. Huh?
Guess it was
right, it was nothing.
How come the password changes every Thursday?
It's the lotto ticket. He uses the lotto ticket. Lotto happens on Thursdays. We established that.
His ticket is the password into the system. That's taking a big gamble.
I don't know, changing the password every week to a random 5-digit string of numbers. That seems kind of secure, as long as no one finds the ticket. Of course, Cason apparently framed the ticket on the wall, so maybe it's not so secure after all. We have to get this ticket. To do that, we have to break the frame open, but that woman there is watching us. So, we have to make it so she's no longer watching us. Again, I would have liked it if there was a more stealthy way of doing that. But no one down there saw it, so okay.
That's the current lotto ticket. You've nailed the password. Awesome. It's almost shift change. Time to move out. Make your way to the rendezvous in the underground parking lot.
Alright, unfortunately, they did notice that that woman is unconscious up there, but they don't know that I did that. So, these guards are not looking for me. They're looking for someone, but they don't know who. And this door's locked because we're under alert. Alright, we'll just have to wait this alert out then.
The intruder has escaped. All teams, search the area.
Because they don't even know what the intruder looks like. See, we're just doing chemistry.
Must be getting tired. Must be getting tired.
Completely inconspicuous. Alright, so let's go back to Billy, who's heading back into the level 1 lab to give that keycard back to the middleman.
We've got a problem. There's too much interference. We can't get a clear signal from the retina scanner. Retrieve it before Cason finds it.
Hold on. Security's been alerted. Go up to the level 2 lab and retrieve the retina scanner. Hurry, before it's discovered.
No time to waste. Get moving.
I could have just took it with me when I was there before, but no, we had to leave it behind. So now we've got a 7-minute time limit to get that retinal scanner and get back out. So back to Sheila, who's in the level 2 lab locker room. because now the door in Kaysen's secretary's office is locked, so we can't go through there. We do have to go through the ventilation shaft this time. And if that time limit runs out, we will automatically be found and captured, and it's game over. So we want to do this as fast as possible. Get that retina scanner. I don't know, you think that we could have just taken it the first time round. You think it would be a bad idea to just leave it there, but no. Okay, we've got the retinal scanner, we've got the password, so now we can head to the rendezvous point back at the parking garage. However, there is one more thing to do.
Everything's under control. Go back to the rendezvous.
We did promise the middleman that we would give that keycard back. We don't have to. We could just leave. And let's finish this up dressed as Kaysen's secretary. We could, yeah, like I said, we could just leave the place. There's really no reason to give the keycard back to the middleman, but we did promise, and I'm trying to make this 100% run. So let's head back to the level 1 lab and give this keycard back. Yeah, everyone seems pretty calm, considering that security was alerted. Everyone's just kind of walking around, doing their usual routine. And even though this pumping music is playing, no one seems to notice it. Oh yes, that's right. Yeah, in the lab, we're actually on alert. This is nothing that we did, this is just an automatic thing that happens. Unfortunately, because we're on alert, that means the door to the locker room is locked. We can't get in there right now. So that's kind of a problem, considering we do have a time limit that's running down. A little over 4 minutes left. So, we don't really want to have to wait around for this alert to end. Fortunately, there is one thing we can do to speed things up. I don't think we've actually looked at this yet. But, that's right, in the lab, there's a scanner mounted on the wall. And we can use a certain item that we've been picking up. ID tags from guards. We can get them from stunning guards. Right, using it cancels the alarm. And if our costume was wanted by the guards, it would cancel the wanted status. So it's pretty useful.
You brought back the key. I'll return the favor. Take this with you. You might get some use out of it. Kaysen suspects something. Don't ask me to do this again. It's too risky.
And our reward is just a recovery kit. A small recovery kit. That's all. So there was really no reason to do that, but again, kind of feel compelled to get everything done. Alright, so now we've done that, we can just head to the rendezvous point. Which, do you remember where it was? Because I didn't the first time I played this. I kind of had some problems with it. The rendezvous point was back through the cafeteria, out through the kitchen, and then that leads to the parking garage. So we're heading there now. Samuel's already made his way out. He's nowhere to be found. Fortunately, the guards are not on alert for us. Otherwise, it would be much more difficult trying to make our way out of here than it is now. Right now, it's very simple. But if they did know that we were a spy, It would be more like this. Yeah, but fortunately that didn't happen. No one knows we're here. Which means we're gonna get out of here with plenty of time left over. Over 2 minutes.
Come on, kid, jump in.
Right, so mission 1 complete. We retrieved Kaysen's retinal scan and his password. We didn't need to use it during this mission because that'll be coming up for the next mission. Next time, we'll be heading back to Nanotech Dyne to make use of what we got, to access the computer system, and to see if we can get this information about the supposed bioweapon that this pharmaceutical company is working on. Hopefully it doesn't involve zombies. So, until next time, I'll see you. Let's see. So, the way it works is the width between the eyes is equal to the width of one eye. Alright, so... Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I thought.